Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at the 20 weirdest unlockables in God of War games. For this list, we'll be looking at strange unlockable costumes, items, and other features found in the God of War franchise. Which of these do you find to be the weirdest? Let us know in the comments. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Tycoonius, God of War. The older God of War games included a ton of unlockable costumes that came with various stat changes for a replay. More importantly, for the purposes of our list, they were also incredibly silly. One of the more tame, albeit still strange costumes was Tycoonius, unlocked after beating the Challenge of the Gods. It increases damage while decreasing defense, and earns you 4 times the amount of red orbs. But in a strong disconnect from the setting, it dresses Kratos in a sleek suit and changes his Blades of Chaos into dual briefcases. We have to imagine those hefty hard cases pack quite a wallop. The Infinity Gauntlet, God of War 2018. Just because something is incredibly cool doesn't mean it also isn't odd. Called the Shattered Gauntlet of Ages in-game, this rare talisman is a reference to Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet from the Marvel Universe. Earned through Sindri's family business side quest, it produces a shockwave that can be upgraded through various enchantments that act like the Infinity Stones. For example, Njord's Temporal Stone slows enemies for a small window when you activate the gauntlet. While the fully upgraded version only allows for 3 enchantment slots, doing so adds a powerful projectile attack. Plus, it's pretty neat to see how Sony adapted a piece of pop culture for its world. Apollo, God of War 3.
You aspire to be an Olympian, yet their reign is ended.
Several God of War costumes give Kratos the appearance of another character, but what's strange about this one is that it's of a character who never appears in the series. Kratos may earn the God of Archery's bow in God of War 3, and his sister Artemis plays a small role in the first game, but he's suspiciously absent from the entire narrative. Still, players could gain this costume through a pre-order bonus, and later as a separate digital purchase.
Keep that beast away!
It halves the normal damage from both enemies and Kratos, as well as makes the God of War's eyes glow a bright gold. Chef of War, God of War.
Foul beast! I will send you back to the depths of Hades!
And now we're back to the silly. Also earned through the Challenge of the Gods, this costume dons Kratos in a chef's uniform and hat, complete with bloodstains from some meal we probably don't want to know about. It also replaces his weapons with 2 frying pans, which we have to admit make for hilarious but highly effective weapons. As far as benefits go, it triples the amount of blue orbs you can collect, which refill health, and increases the power of magic granting green orbs by 50%. That makes it great for a replay where you want to use lots of magic and not have to worry about healing. Olive Skin Kratos, God of War Ascension. When a series includes increasingly sillier joke costumes, one that's so mundane comes back around to weird due to our confusion over its inclusion in the first place. After beating Ascension on any difficulty, players will unlock some pretty cool armor sets, some of which are based on mythological creatures like the Kraken. However, you also unlock Olive Skin Kratos.
Do you have business with me?
I do. but this is not the manner to discuss it.
I see no other way.
All it does is make the hero appear like he did before he was cursed as the Ghost of Sparta. It doesn't come with any stat bonuses, or any changes to gameplay at all. So why include it along with the other, far more unique costumes?
I believe these belong to you.
Deimos, God of War 3.
There will always be another to stand against you.
They will fall as well.
Name another series that lets you dress as your character's brother whose death they felt immense grief and guilt over. There were a number of different ways to earn the Deimos costume in God of War 3, but it was definitely a skin designed for a more challenging replay. It increases the drop rate of green, blue, and gold orbs, which refill Kratos' rage meter. The downside is that it also makes red orbs useless, meaning you can't upgrade any of your weapons or abilities. While it is a bit strange to see Deimos walking about, it's also quite fitting considering he was one of Zeus's many victims. Aphrodite's Ambrosia, God of War, Ghost of Sparta. The older games in the series made the most of their M ratings, and we're definitely not just talking about violence. At a certain point in Ghost of Sparta, Kratos could visit a brothel in his hometown and enjoy a sex minigame, one of several that the franchise has seemingly left behind. However, by playing it through 3 times, players would get Aphrodite's Ambrosia, a special item that unlocks a mighty Spartan kick for Kratos. We're sure some players were already going to play it at least 3 times regardless, but it's still strange to have an item unlocked in such a way. Plus, did Kratos really need an item in order to kick McKratos, God of War, Chains of Olympus? Simply put, Kratos should not have hair. Grow out that beard as much as you want, but even a buzz cut would look odd. By beating Chains of Olympus and then beating the Challenge of Hades, players could unlock this Scottish costume. Not only does it put him in a kilt, but it also gives him flaming red hair. Additionally, it turns his blades of chaos into massive axes. That part at least fits with Kratos' bloodlust. Though odd, it's a great costume for a replay. It quadruples Kratos' damage output at the cost of taking double the damage and having the amount of green and blue orbs he can collect. High Resolution Mode, God of War 2. In God of War 2's Arena mode, it was possible to earn a staggering 999,999 hit combo, at which point a secret URL would flash across the screen. Eventually, players dug through the site's puzzles to uncover a high-resolution mode, offering a crisper way to replay. But hiding the ability to play in HD is certainly strange. Director of Technology Tim Moss would later state that it was hidden because it was implemented so late in development. He also shared how to unlock it, holding down L1, L2, L3, square, and circle as the game boots up. But honestly, the game already looked so good that it was hard to tell the difference.
Drain your godly powers into the sword, Kratos. Only then will you reach your full potential.
The Gravedigger, God of War, Ghost of Sparta. The kindly old Gravedigger, later revealed to be Zeus, helped Kratos escape the underworld in the first God of War game. The PSP's Ghost of Sparta paid homage to the alter ego. He can only be unlocked after purchasing everything in the Temple of Zeus, and he can only be used in the Arena mode. As you begin, he'll immediately transform into the head honcho of the Greek pantheon. While his combos never get too complicated, it's immense fun using electrified attacks against hordes of enemies. taunting to hear him say things like "die mortal" is just the cherry on top.
Die, mortal!
Hercules, God of War 2.
You will suffer for this! Don't let him open the door!
This costume dresses Kratos like one of the most famous demigods in Greek myth, but it's only reserved for the mightiest of players. The Hercules skin is unlocked after beating the game on Titan mode, its hardest difficulty. Wearing it gives him a 50% increase in attack power, but an equal decrease in defense. What's weird is that we got our first look at the actual Hercules in God of War 3, and he looks nothing like this. In fact, this costume resembles the Marvel version of the character more than Sony's interpretation. Spud of War, God of War, Chains of Olympus. Somewhere here is a joke about Kratos never looking so tasty before. Another Chains of Olympus costume, Spud of War dresses Kratos up like a baked potato, complete with what looks like a tinfoil diaper and potato cutters instead of his blades. Unlocking it doesn't require anything too difficult, you just have to beat the game. But the costume essentially warrants a replay. It grants Kratos unlimited magic and makes him take 25% of normal damage. Plus, there's the added benefit of making him look absolutely ridiculous. So it's a win-win. Athena, God of War 2.
Athena! You will!
By far the weirdest unlockable costume that makes Kratos appear as a different character is the Athena one from God of War 2. These costumes never cause a change in voice actor, so you'll still hear Kratos' guttural screams and threats coming from Athena's body. That alone makes the game worth replaying. While Athena comes with a small decrease in defense, that price is more than worth paying. It also increases the potency of all red, blue, and green orbs, meaning you'll have most of the necessary resources to unleash pure power. It just takes beating the game on the hardest difficulty to unlock. Head of Helios, God of War 3.
You will never defeat Zeus, Spartan.
While it is an item you're required to get and use, the Head of Helios is still one of the oddest unlockables in God of War. Sure, Kratos has used several of his enemies' body parts as items before, and this isn't even his first severed head, but the brutality of Helios' demise is one of the most unsettling kills throughout the franchise, to a point where we actually felt a bit bad for him. It's definitely useful, able to reveal secrets and stun enemies, somehow even able to charge its light beam. However, it will always be one of the stranger items Kratos has ever used. Secret Messages, God of War. The original God of War gave players two weird audio unlockables. By beating the game on God mode, players would be given a phone number to call. Doing so would lead to a recording of Kratos congratulating you and revealing that he keeps Ares' soul locked in a special chamber. The second secret message is one of the best Easter eggs in the series.
We shall conquer the perils that lay before us, and we shall always...
Kratos, dude, they did it! They found our Easter egg!
Who are you?
Destroying both statues in Kratos' throne room would earn you a jumbled phone number that, when decoded, gave you another audio recording. Only this time, you'd hear Kratos angrily murdering director David Jaffe for insulting his complexion. If only more modern games included unlockables that were this bizarre and hilarious.
You know, up close, you actually look kind of pasty, if you don't mind me saying. It's kind of gross.
All right, that's it!
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Cod of War, God of War 2. Wait a minute, there's something fishy going on here. This costume is unlocked after beating God of War 2, and, as you probably could have guessed, dresses Kratos like a big blue cod. It also humorously turns his blades of Athena into fish hooks. Unfortunately, it doesn't increase his strength or reduce the damage he takes. It simply doubles the amount of orbs Kratos collects from any given source. But it's one of the silliest costumes Kratos has ever worn, making it more than worth playing through the game again. It returned for 2018's God of War, where it offered a lot more benefits, but didn't look nearly as funny. Dairy Bastard, God of War. Many of the old costumes are hilariously strange, but few can hold a candle to Dairy Bastard. One of several skins unlocked in the original game by completing the Challenge of the Gods, it makes Kratos look like the biggest milk enthusiast. It dresses him in a cow costume, complete with silly udders and jugs of milk in place of his blades of chaos. There's nothing quite like watching a cow rip through hordes of mythical monsters. While it comes with the drawback of halved strength, it doubles the value of all orbs, and gives Kratos unlimited magic, making the trade-off very much worth it. Ratatoskr, God of War 2018.
Ratatoskr!
Every waking hour, you two!
Atreus can gain a handful of useful animal summons in God of War, but one of the most helpful and by far the strangest is Ratatoskr the Talking Squirrel. He can only be unlocked late in the game and can be a bit difficult to get. He's more than worth the trouble though.
Ratatoskr!
Why do you hate me?
Depending on which arrows Atreus has equipped, summoning Ratatoskr will earn you a health stone or a rage stone. Each time you summon him, he'll deliver a healthy helping of sass that never fails to make us chuckle. In fact, it's worth summoning him even when you don't need him just to hear what he's got to say.
Ratatoskr saves the day. Again.
Mime of War, God of War, Chains of Olympus. Last but certainly not least of the Chains of Olympus unlockable costumes is the Mime of War. Conquering the game on God mode unlocks it, dressing Kratos like one of the silent performers. Cleverly, it turns the blades of chaos and other weapons invisible, and it never gets old seeing Kratos rip foes to shreds seemingly empty-handed. The benefits it grants you is double the amount of blue and green orbs and 4 times the amount of red orbs Kratos can gain, making it very hard to kill you. But if you've already beaten God mode, a Mime of War playthrough is just so you can laugh at the ridiculousness. Rabotos, God of War, Ghost of Sparta.
You look tired, Caesar.
It would be one thing to make Kratos look like an actual robot, but this costume is even weirder for making him look like a kid who made his own Halloween costume. Rabotos dons Kratos in cardboard, duct tape, and hoses to make him look like a cheap robot. Kratos' colored-in tattoo is an extra nice touch. It's one of the unlockables found in the Temple of Zeus, costing a hefty 250,000 red orbs. It increases the time between hits so it's easier to build up your combos. However, it also decreases damage output on the blades of Athena and arms of Sparta, and makes magic attacks cost twice as many blue orbs. Still, the design is so great that it's worth the negatives.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.